What an amazing day, everyone! Welcome to the newest edition of VacciNATION, the podcast. I am Mona Latag, your host for this day. And kasama ko rin ngayon ang aking mga co-host.
I am Roxette Catherine Angulo.
I am Vanessa de Mocolangan and thank you for tuning in today.
Welcome sa third episode ng ating podcast. Like the tradition of our program, we will be opening the podcast sa first segment na Historical Background. Today, we will unveil the development of COVID vaccines throughout the years kasi it is what we are facing today and it is evident sa pamumuhay natin ngayon. Maraming naging restrictions because of the virus.
Tama ka, Mona. There are so many things that we weren't able to do free kasi nga gawa ng pandemic.
Yes, super agree ako. And speaking of this, the development of vaccine emerged that helps in eliminating the suffocating impact of the virus in our lifestyle. On January 11, 2020 na magkaroon ng eagerness ang mga scientists and medical professionals in preparing for an outbreak and para mapabilis ang pagpuproduce ng COVID vaccine. By June 2020, humigit kumulang 10 bilyong dolyar ang inilagak ng mga companies, universities, governments, at international health organizations to develop dozens of vaccines to prevent COVID. At according nga sa Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Institutions or CEPI, lumabas na sa geographic distribution of COVID development shows and North America na may 40% progress. 30% ng ganitong activity ang meron naman sa Asia at Australia. 20% naman ang vaccination progress ang na-contribute ng Europe. And there are some activities like such na naitala sa Africa and South America. Noon namang February 2020, sinabi ng World Health Organization na unexpected ang availability ng SARS-CoV-2 vaccines na less than 18 months. And according to virologist Paul Outfit, na isa sa magiging remarkable and memorable achievement ang development ng vaccine within the short span of time. And noong June 4, 2020, inaprubahan ng China ang CanSino na mag-distribute ng vaccines para sa mga military personnel. Gayon din ang dalawang inactivated vaccines na dedicated para sa mga high-risk jobs. A month later, noong August 11, 2020, na in-announce ng Russia na approved na ang Sputnik V. And pwede nang i-distribute for emergency use. However, kukunti lamang ang inailabas ng Sputnik V for phase 3 trial. Several months had passed noong November 20, 2020. Ang partnership ng Pfizer at Biotech ay nagsubmit ng Emergency Use Authorization or EUA request to Food and Drug Administration or FDA for the mRNA vaccine BNT16B2 na may active ingredient na tonzamiran. And it was on December 2, 2020 when the United Kingdom's Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency gave temporary regulatory approval and Pfizer Biotech. At sila ang first Western country na gumamit ng vaccine na nasabing distributor. It was on December 11, 2020 naman when the FDA granted EUA for Pfizer and Biotech vaccines. At noon namang December 21, 2020, inaprubahan ng European Union at ng iba pang mga bansa ang paggamit ng Pfizer vaccine. At ang mga bansa namang tulad ng Bahrain at United Arab Emirates ay inaprubahan for emergency marketing authorization ang Sinopharm for BBIDP or V.
Bakit naging Sinopharm ang distributor ng UAE? Why not Pfizer?
Kasi that time, naglabas na rin ng Sinopharm ng vaccines nila. You know naman na that time, di ba, masyado nang desperate ang mga bansa to get vaccines so they get the vaccines na available. A week later, inaprubahan ng EUA for mRNA 1273, active ingredient ilosamiran, the Moderna vaccine. the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) and the Food and Drug Administration (FDA) work together through an established system to ensure the vaccines distributed in the US are as safe as possible. In December naman, after a thorough review, the FDA granted emergency use authorization or EUA for both the Pfizer and Moderna COVID-19 vaccines, which were shown to be safe and effective based on the data from the manufacturers and the findings from large clinical trials. Sa tala naman ng CDC with 95% effectiveness rate, the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are an important tool in stopping the pandemic. Along with other precautions like mask and physical distancing, if we have a vaccines against COVID, important pa rin ang kakaroon ng social distancing and of course, ang individual discipline. Nandito na tayo sa segment that discusses the effects ang vaccine impacts. The COVID vaccines have different effects to the body. Kapag nabakunahan, makakaramdam ng mild to moderate side effects like low-grade fever and muscle aches.
Normal naman yun, di ba?
Yes, it is normal kasi the immune system is constructing the body to react in a certain ways. It increases blood flow so more immune cells can circulate. And it raises your body temperature in order to kill the virus. And now, dumako tayo sa effects ng vaccine on a wider scope sa environment and society. So, the effects of the vaccine to the wider scope seem enlightening. The United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs stated that by 2055, the Earth's population is estimated to reach almost 10 billion, and that is a feat in a part is due to effective vaccines that prevent disease and prolong life expectancy across all continents. Agencies including the World Health Organization or WHO, United Nations Children's Fund or UNICEF, Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Initiative or CEPI, with their multiple funding streams ay makakatulong sa expansion ng COVID vaccine, benefits sa lahat ng tao.
Lahat ng stated effects ay positive. Meron bang negative effects ang vaccine sa COVID?
Yes, meron din itong negative effects. Ang negative effect naman ng vaccine against COVID include the increased risk of BPD outbreaks in low-resource countries, where vaccination programs must be temporarily halted to prevent the spread of infection. And besides, hindi lang ikaw ang magiging safe against virus, plus you can do so much things. And along with, syempre, social distancing and wearing face mask. Welcome sa Infojection. Sa segment na ito ay ating pag-uusapan ang mga impormasyong mas makakatulong para sa atin para mas maunawaan ang COVID-19 vaccine. May mga companies from all over the country ang nag-formulate ng kanilang version ng vaccine, aiming to alleviate the adverse impacts of the virus. Pero ito ang top 3 providers ng COVID-19 vaccines around the world. Una na nga diyan ay ang Pfizer Biotech. So this vaccine is intended for people aged 12 years old and older. So meron siyang 2 shots and binigay ito within 3 weeks. Meaning to say, kapag nagpaturo ka ng first dose Pfizer, maghihintay ka ng 3 weeks o 21 days bago ma-receive ang second dose. After mong maturo ka ng second dose, the utmost immunity will felt after 2 weeks. And additional dose naman is given for moderate to severe immunocompromised and nabinigay naman 4 weeks after second shot. Ang booster dose naman ay advisable for those who has a higher risk of getting COVID virus. And this is given 6 months after your second doses. The second vaccine na i-discuss natin ay ang Moderna vaccine. This vaccine is intended for individuals age 18 years old and older. So 2 shots are given sa mga recipients ng vaccines. And it was given 4 weeks. Kumbaga, isang buwan pagitan ng first and at second dose, like Pfizer, 2 weeks after vaccination, masisecure ang immunity. Ang additional dose ay advisable for those who are moderately to severely immune compromised. The shot will be given 4 weeks after the second dose. Unlike Pfizer, hindi pa advisable and booster shot na produced by Moderna. So it can be the Pfizer booster shots ang ibibigay as boosters.
Di kaya yun delikado? I mean the booster brand is different from the vaccine received.
Hindi naman siya magiging delikado because aside from it was being tested, may mga similar formulations din ang mga vaccines that kills the virus. So, hindi delikado when it comes to using boosters and that have a different brands. And finally, dumako tayo sa top 3 vaccine natin which is the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Ibinigay ang vaccine sa mga taong edad 18 years old and above na tulad nga sa Moderna vaccines, Johnson vaccine is different from other brands of vaccine. Kasi, isang shot lang lang ibinibigay, like any vaccines available. 2 weeks after getting shot, ma-achieve ang immunity na ibinigay ng vaccine. Sa ngayon, wala pa nga ina-advise ang Johnson & Johnson ang additional shots boosters. And there you guys have it. Nandito na tayo sa point na magpapaalam na kami sa inyo. It has been a great time sharing ideas with you.
Ako si Vanessa Di Makulangan.
Ako naman si Roxanne Kathleen Angulo.
Muli, ako si Mona Latag na nagsasabi for the last time na ang gamot sa kamangmangan ay ang vaksing impormasyong kailangan. Ito ang VacciNATION, the podcast sa ulo.